Whether you're in North or South Carolina or anywhere else in the world, enter the Cat Cave with D. White and Shannon Smith, a part of Keep Pounding Podcast Network, powered by the Fans First Sports Network, where you can find shows such as Winning the Division and Inside the Vault. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Cat Cave. You have entered in. Go ahead. Get yourself acquainted. We're going to talk some Panthers football. Of course, you're being joined by Shannon Smith, a.k.a. Podcast Me, holding down Western North Carolina, accompanied by the beast from the Northeast North Carolina, my brother, D. White. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Enjoying life. Trying to be happy. We got some Panthers football. We got to talk about it. We got every Sunday is about to be full. It's a good time of the year.
Oh, man, it is a wonderful time, of course, with college football setting the tone for this weekend. Looking forward to some great matchups on the gridiron. Your Friday football, of course, being covered by our producer, Mr. Desmond Johnson, doing all of his Friday football, all this stuff going on with high school. We got college on the weekend. And then next week, y'all, Thursday, we're going to get some football. And then on Sunday, y'all, we made it. I know summer's great. I get it. I love summer. I do. But fall is something about that football. And we're going to get it, just like D said, every Sunday. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what we've been seeing. Preseason's done. We're done with preseason. Your practice football games are finished. We're finalizing, and all the teams have finalized, more than likely finalized their 53 man rosters right now, made their cuts, made their changes to their rosters. And of course, our Carolina Panthers made our cuts for the rosters, made the cuts, got their roster ready, 53 players on the roster. Had some surprises, had some not so surprises. And we're going to discuss that here on the show. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to D. I know that he's been looking at everything. He's been looking at all of them. I know he has. So, D, what was one of the players? I mean, I know you got a lot of players you're happy to see. Of course, we are. We do. But was there a player that you're very happy to see on this squad yet again?
I mean, it's. I'm happy that all of our rookies made it. We needed them. We definitely needed them. Those guys, they, for the most part, play pretty good for it to be their first taste of NFL. Some big surprises. Obviously, I'm happy we kept Coker again. He was never in question, but some people thought he might be. Excel, same thing. He should have been in question. For the most part, we already knew what our offense was going to be. Our offensive line, everybody was re-signed. Well, everybody stuck to the 53. So, I mean, that was great. We cut bait with some people. I don't want to put it like that. We released some people that weren't exactly a fit for us. But overall, minus maybe one person, I was not very surprised. What about you?
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll get into a sign that we got this week as well, too. Added a little something to the line yet again, of course, and not so old face.
Mm-hmm.
We got it on the line yet again, so that's going to bolster our line. Taylor Moton got him back.
T-Mo.
Happy about that move?
Definitely. 2 more years. Somebody that's been nothing but uh, a great player, a great leader, role model that never wanted to leave. Has stated several times that he doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to stay here, wants to finish his career here. I mean, the Panthers haven't exactly had a lot of players that have been able to do that. And for Timo to be one of those players, hopefully that gets to stay and finish out his career, whether it's this contract or he extends later down the road, it's great. It's great for so many reasons, financially, but mainly for leadership. He's one of the rocks on this team. Silent, but does his job. Cares about the team. Emphasizes everything that we want Panther players to be, and it's great to see. I'm extremely happy about it.
As am I, because of course the offensive line has been something that the Carolina Panthers has been a focal point of the Carolina Panthers over the past 2 years.
Mhm,
They've been bolstering the line, and they bolstered the line. They have on the offensive line, as proven with how Chuba Hubbard's ran the football
mhm,
and how Bryce had a late season rush, had a late season surge last year as the Panthers closed out the season, allowing him to pass the football effectively and have sight downfield. So bringing back Timo was a very, very good move to me. I'm very happy about it as well too, just like you are, because the line is something that Carolina has to maintain in order to play successful football.
mhm.
Now, you know how it goes, man. You can't keep them all. You can't keep them all. You can't always get what you want, of course. Now, let's go into some of these players that we were surprised at seeing leave. So,
Mm.
what players were you not so happy that the Carolina Panthers did not keep or hold on to?
First and foremost, I even got in a texting back and forth with somebody. I wasn't expecting Hunter Renfro to be cut. I can understand it from a standpoint that it's his first time being back in 2 years. The last time he played, he was under the effects of a disease. Um, but coming back, showing that he still got it, maybe he still had a little rust. We don't know. But as fans and as football watchers, it was like surprising because he's been a player that teams talk about. Like Hunter Renfro in the slot, you got to watch out for him. And it was unexpected because you thought he had a decent shot over um, David Moore. Now I don't want to take anything from David Moore, but it's just I felt like Renfro maybe had a better fit team wise. I mean, he can do special teams. He's a little older, but he cut his teeth on special teams as well as wide receiver, and he's been pretty significant as a wide receiver. So that was my surprise. But I mean, it's a couple other players I thought they might try to keep, like Chris Barnes, but it is what it is. What about you?
Understandable. Now that we're on the topic of Hunter Renfro, which was something I was thinking of as well too. It was a surprise to me when I saw it too. When the waivers hit and everything, all the players that were going throughout the league. I was watching the whole league, of course, watching everything on ESPN, watching everything on TV about who was going where. And when I saw that the Panthers released Hunter Renfro, it was surprising to me because when you watch these blueprint videos that were being made, Hunter Renfro was one of the players they talked about a lot.
Hmm.
And he was pretty much unguarded in practice in the OTAs. He was unguarded. He looked great. Like they talked about, it looked like he hasn't taken time off. It looks like he was just in the groove. He was there. He was locked in. And then all of a sudden I see this. And I'm like, there's got to be something that we're not seeing or something that we didn't see or something that the Panthers saw and felt like, oh no, Hunter Renfro's not there. Then you hear Dabo Sweeney, his former college coach, endorsing him to the Panthers, talking to him about it, like getting the Panthers, locked into doing it. Oh, what's up, Cuz? What's up, Willie? You have a youth movement going on, absolutely. We do. We do. Yes, the Panthers have a youth movement going on. Good to see you again, Willie, as always. But the thing with me is that, the hype with Hunter Renfro and seeing him be released was kind of had me scratching my head. But then again, looking at everything, just like you said, the age is another thing. This is a young Panthers squad. This is young. This is a young team. So I can understand why a player like Hunter Renfro may not be what they're looking for long term, because you're looking at the trajectory of this squad. Just like Willie said, youth movement going on. You've got young people. You got guys you want to build around. You got a young core, a young team that you want to build around. But you got the experience aspect. People want to say, fans alike, all the experience. You got to have some experience. Got some players that have done things. Got to have some players that have played in the league long enough to help these young players. But then again, you also have others that think, oh, well, we've got a young core. Let's focus on this young core. Let's focus on these young players and build these young players and get them acclimated to playing with each other. Get them acclimated with a one scheme, with a group of coaches, with a way of doing things that is of new school mentality. Dave Canales is not he's a young coach. He's a younger coach. We've got a young group of coaches. We do. With these young players out here. Yeah, of course, you've got some older players, Dom Capers being affiliated with the team as well, too. Jim Caldwell being affiliated with the team. Yes, absolutely. You have some experience that's going to be there. But yet and still, with a young core, you also got to have a factor that is going to draw these young players into playing. And so that's one thing I can't see about the Hunter Renfro release that is understandable, just like you said. But also, too, I look at those blueprint videos and I'm just thinking, I'm like, fellas, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that kind of had me scratching my head. And then, speaking of experience receivers, because the receiver room is what's been talked about with the Panthers. That's been one of the focal points of the Panthers. The receiver room. Who's leaving? Who's going? Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? Who are they going to get rid of? You got draft picks in there. Got vets in there. Who's going to go? And then Hunter Renfro. He's been released. And then Adam Thielen got traded. Went back to Minnesota. Back to the squad that he once was with. Now, before we get into the move, your thoughts on Adam Thielen as a Carolina Panther?
Can't say anything bad about Thielen. I mean, for the same interest that Renfro had for us, Thielen had for going back home. I'm not mad at him for it. I mean, would we have loved to keep Thielen for not only veteran experience, but he was Bryce's best receiver last year, the year before that. It would have been dope to keep him, but I mean, I watched Dan Morgan's presser today, and it was pretty much he wasn't looking to trade Thielen, but he had that mutual respect for him that he's a player, that he's a GM, that he knows what it's like to play home, that he gave him the option. So, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I would have loved for if we're going to trade Thielen to keep Renfro, because I would prefer him as the vet over Moore. But I mean, the youth movement, like you said, we're pushing towards youth. We're pushing towards Coker getting that opportunity, who's shown he has the chops to make it. But I mean, Thielen gone, Renfro's not here. We need a good vet that's going to step up. That's the main thing. If we can get a good vet to step up, then we're straight. If that's David Moore, we got to live with that. Cool. We have talented players now. We have Jimmy Horn still, who can stretch the field. We have Tetero McMillan, who can stretch the field and make contested catches. We have X that, again, he can stretch the field as a big body player. We have Coker, who can catch the ball no matter where you throw it. We have dynamic, good young receivers. They just like you said, they need time. They need the chance to work together. So I mean, I'm not mad at Adam Thielen wanting to go home. I would never be mad at somebody wanting to go home. If that was the case, we wouldn't have got Julius Peppers back. We wouldn't have got Cam Newton back. We wouldn't have got Josh Norman coming back for a time. Trey Boston. I mean, I'm I respect it. I cannot say anything bad about Thielen. His whole handling of coming here in the first place was great. Him being here, staying here. He might have got frustrated during games, but he stayed a professional. And even when he left, he never shown anything like he wanted to leave. He was set here. And that's what I'm going to remember Thielen as, somebody who was loyal to the cause, who wanted to play for this team, who chose to play for this team, and gave it his all until he had the opportunity to go back home. Not mad at all.
I agree. Anytime you have that opportunity to go home, it's a good thing. It's a good feeling. And I can't say anything bad about Adam Thielen being here with the Carolina Panthers. He was professional, just like you said. Also, too, he was a leader at one point in time, and he was at one point in time just like Chuba was the offense as well too. He was a part of that as well. This offense was young, but you also got to look at it as well too. With this group of players that we have here is the age dynamic that we're looking at yet again. Once again, alluding to you and what Willie has said, the age dynamic is where it's at. Even though he's a good receiver and he's shown that he's a good receiver, it's the age dynamic of this squad here with Jimmy Horn Jr., with Ted, with this young receiver core. When you have a player that might be aging, might be coming out of his contract, you trade them. You don't want them to walk away for nothing. You don't want them to walk away, get some type of value out of them. They did get picks, which is something that Carolina needs because once again, I was talking about this as well too. When Dez, I got to give credit to Dez on this phrase right here. This microwave popcorn way of sports building, trying to build a squad with free agency and building a squad with big name trades and not doing the slow build, not doing that build with draft picks, not doing that build with developing players, developing personnel. That's what I think lacks with a lot of teams because they don't want to develop it the long way because it's the long way. You want success now. You want to win now. You want to keep your fan base happy. You want to keep this going. But one of the things that has to be understood is that in order to manufacture wins and dynasties and things of that nature, it's the draft you start with. It's the draft. It's developing those players. It's developing that young core. It's getting those parts that don't fit out. And not saying that Adam Thielen does not fit. Not saying that he is a bad fit for this squad, but for this young squad, for this squad to manifest, sometimes you got to let certain things go. Do I say that Adam Thielen was dead weight on this team? No. But I do think that Carolina was good to get some type of value out of him before he left. And if he would have left out of free agency or would have left due to retirement, then Carolina wouldn't have received anything. They wouldn't have gotten some type of value out of him. So hats off to Adam Thielen. Thank you for your time with the Carolina Panthers. Thank you for that. But also, too, does that open the door for a Hunter Renfrow?
It's possible. They said that they were talking to him still. He has options, but he said previously this offseason it was us or the Raiders. But he has new options now, so it's possible he comes back. Obviously, we all would love for him to come back, but I mean, the ball's in his court. We're gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully, I think they got a couple players that they can still potentially release or trade, being that this isn't the final 53 yet, so we still have opportunity to get Hunter Renfrow back, but only if he wants to. Obviously, he's a free agent; he can do whatever he wants, but we would love it.
And with that happening, of course, with the Panthers releasing Hunter Renfrow, then of course with the Adam Thielen trade, that I don't think that would leave a sour taste in Hunter Renfrow's mouth there. I don't think it would. I do think that, looking out for the team and, the way sports is, it's making those moves that help build a team, making those moves that could open up something down the road. Of course, this we wouldn't be speaking about Hunter Renfrow making his return back to Carolina without an Adam Thielen trade.
Right.
So we wouldn't be saying anything about that. We would more than likely be thinking, okay, Adam Thielen's going to be with the squad. I see why Hunter Renfrow's gone. So now, with that happening here, with Adam Thielen gone, Hunter Renfrow that can be revisited. And I don't think that the Carolina Panthers or Hunter Renfrow are on bad terms. I'm pretty sure they don't. He wouldn't be thinking about it if that happened. But that's got to be kind of in the mind there. Like, hey, I was here.
Had
We
an
did this. We
opportunity
did
and you
that.
cut me.
Go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you. They
Oh
had an
yeah,
opportunity and they cut him. Honestly.
but it could be here, it could be there. But then you guys said no. Now this guy's gone, and here we are again. Hmm. But
Maybe we us being fans, we're not in the offices. They might have been working on that trade for a couple of days and they just didn't make it in time. So it's like, hey, we want to keep you, but we have to do this first. So maybe we might have to let you go, but we want to bring you back.
right.
That could have been spoke about. We just don't know.
Hmm. And I mean, I'm sure that it is it's ongoing. We'll be seeing about that. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled on what is going to be going on here. As once again, we've got a week. We've got roughly a week. Man, I love saying that. Roughly a week
Mm-hmm.
until we get them on the field, until we get the Panthers on the field to see what this squad is going to look like. Now, of course, that's been some of the big news here with the Panthers going into it. The sign of Timo, the release of Hunter Renfrow, the trade of Adam Thielen. What other was there any other move that you felt like might have been a shock to you during this, or was the Adam Thielen trade? Was there anything else that might have shocked you during this time?
Well, even though those were the highlights, like it was a couple of players that were waived, and I was like, yeah, we needed that. Shot total. Um, I don't. I'm not a fan of like being excited if somebody loses their job. At the end of the day, he's a man trying to feed his family. I got that respect enough for people that I don't want to wish well on anybody. I mean, excuse me, wish unwell on anybody. But Shot Tuttle, it seemed like he just wasn't really a fit. And they maybe overplayed him. They put him in a bad position because he just seemed overwhelmed for the majority of the time he was on the field. Boogie Basham, I'm not surprised that he was cut because it was like, what I mean, you're not really offering what we need at the moment, especially with getting two edges in the draft early. Um, let's see who else. Shamar Bartholomew, him being cut twice now. Jaden Crumedy being cut. I felt like he was a developmental player that it might be better for him to be on the practice squad and learn a little bit more rather than be on the 53 at the moment. Matthew Wright, I was not surprised, but I was excited to hear that we finally chose a kicker, and it was a young one to boot. So we finally decided to go young there. We cut Jack Plummer, who that was expected. Kobe Hudson, Jacoby George, they had hype coming in, but it was like our wide receiver room's already pretty much built. Like you have to be like Terrell Owens type good to make it at this point. So
Hmm.
I mean, other than that, Jacoby Windman, I thought maybe he might have had a chance, but I mean, it's tough. Those were my surprising ones. Obviously, we signed some players as well, but those were my surprise cuts for the most part.
I understand that, but yeah, all surprising there. Jack Plummer, of course. Hey, had to do it. It was a little tough there. Like all those players had to be done, but also too with the cuts of the squad, we also have some news that the Panthers, talk about the quarterback position, of course. There was some talk that the Panthers might be eyeing another quarterback. Now, we talked a little bit on college football. We're going to be seeing some college football this weekend. You know,
Mhm.
Josh Heupel got the extension from the Tennessee Volunteers. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because one of the quarterbacks the Panthers is looking at was a former Tennessee Volunteer, Hendon
Mhm.
Hooker.
Mhm.
Looking like the Panthers might be close to signing this young quarterback here. Hendon Hooker, of course, had a standout year, a standout career with the Tennessee Volunteers. The Alabama game,
Mhm.
definitely remember that game from his senior year. I believe it was his senior year. I got to look back at that again, but that was a highlight for him. Played with the Detroit Lions for a little bit. Of course, the Detroit Lions grabbing on to Teddy Bridgewater, former Carolina Panther, on their squad here. Hendon Hooker looking like he could see the Carolina Panthers. Nothing said yet. Nothing said, but
Oh
the
yeah, he is.
Panthers. Hmm?
He's on the practice squad now.
Oh, hey, never mind then. Okay, there you have it. He's on the practice squad now. So Hendon Hooker coming over to the Carolina Panthers on the practice squad, getting him developed. Now, how you feel about that move there? How you feel?
It's good. We got a player who plays significant good ball during college. He didn't have a great preseason with Detroit, which is why they released him. But I mean, even their coach said that he might benefit from a new space, a new change of scenery. So I mean, he comes to Carolina, being that he's from Greensboro. He said he grew up a Panther and a Cam Newton fan. Can't be mad at that. I mean,
Mm-mm.
young kid, pretty good arm. He needs some coaching up, and who better to coach him up than a quarterback whisperer? So I mean, this has potential that he could be maybe a QB2, and I won't say this year because obviously we already know that's Andy Dalton. But if he gets coached up right, if he takes to the coaching and improves, showing that he's better than what the preseason showed, then it's possible he could be a mainstay in Carolina if he improves. So I'm very happy for him. I loved watching his highlights when he was in the draft, same draft as Bryce.
Yep.
So I'm I'm excited about seeing his progress.
Oh, definitely. I like that though. Yes, Hendon Hooker, Guilford County. So yeah, I like it. That's good. Yeah, you told me you was already there. So hey, I had to look back on it as well too. I appreciate that though, for real. Thanks for the assist. But
Always.
we covered some things here with the cuts here. You know what? We won't be talking about this. We won't be talking about this. Like, we'll be talking a little bit on what we're going to be seeing for the game next week. I'm looking forward to that. No disrespect to the preseason and free agency and all that stuff and 53-man cuts, but tired of talking about it.
Oh yeah.
We ready to talk about some football, and next week we will be looking at the first game of the season. All the hype, all the preseason stuff is done. We will be evaluating some football next week on week 1 of the NFL. I'll be starting next week, next Thursday. Everybody out there, thank you for joining us on this episode. But for now, you can exit the cat cave. And next week, there will be some football talk. We will be ready to talk the game Thank you guys for joining us. For my man D White,
Yep.
I'm Shannon Smith saying so long, keep pounding, go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
See, we hit the 30-minute mark this time.
Yeah, we got 30.
Hit the 30-minute mark. We'll go ahead and get out of here, man. You be good, brother.
Keep pounding.